Today on Investigate TV Plus, a cancer with so few noticeable symptoms, women may not know they have it until it's too late. I'm Tisha Powell.
And I'm Lee Zurich. We speak to a medical professional who found her own ovarian cancer by accident and explore the need for routine screenings. Plus, a treatment that numbs chronic pain one drip at a time.
Having tools that are non-opioid, that are safe, that can be effective for some patients is really game-changing.
We look into the use of lidocaine infusions and get insight into how it reduces the need for opioid painkillers in patients with chronic pain.
Then we go to the South Louisiana coast, where a self-taught artist immersed himself in a spiritual journey.
You can follow Kenny in his different roles all the way up to the last piece he did.
In-depth stories that inform and inspire. You're watching Investigate TV Plus. Ovarian cancer is the 8th most common cause of death for women across the world, in part because symptoms are hard to recognize.
We take an in-depth look at those sometimes confusing symptoms in a moment, but first we introduce you to a Missouri woman who also had no signs of ovarian cancer, but ended up accidentally detecting the disease on her own.
Reporter Kristen Crowley shares her story and shows us the potential medical breakthroughs looking to change the future of this deadly disease and save women's lives.
If you ask Kristen Baker about her career,
I've loved it so much.
you can see it's more than a job.
It's really wonderful there. I love all my patients.
Kristen has many reasons to love being an ultrasound tech, but perhaps the most important, her job likely saved her life.
We were working with a student, we had a break in our schedule. I was like, the best way to teach in ultrasound is having them do hands-on.
Hands-on meant the student practicing the ultrasound on Kristen, and the routine lesson became so much more.
As soon as she put that probe down, I was like, something's not right. I saw this like ascites or fluid in my abdomen around my liver, and usually that's not something good.
At that point, did you have any thought about what it was you were seeing?
Honestly, I saw a big mass, and that scared me. It was truly scary to see something like that.
You thought it was cancer.
Mm-hmm.
She'd seen enough scans of other patients to know what cancer looks like. Now the mass jumping off the screen was hers. It was ovarian cancer, stage 3. Kristen had been feeling full lately and a little bloated, but she blamed it on her diet and had no plans to see a doctor. After all, she was only 29 years old.
What would have happened if your student hadn't practiced that ultrasound on you that day?
I don't know. That's truly the scary thought. How long would I have gone without going to see a doctor about anything?
Have you ever had a patient who found their own cancer by doing an ultrasound on themselves?
No.
Wild story.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Dr. Annie Jewell at the University of Kansas Health System is Kristen's doctor.
What would have happened if Kristen had not found her cancer in those scans?
I would imagine if she hadn't found this, probably within the next 6 to 12 weeks, she would have had symptoms severe enough that she would have come in.
But by then, Dr. Jewell says Kristen's body would have been worn down by the cancer and from lack of eating. It could have made the grueling chemotherapy treatments and invasive hysterectomy tougher to survive. And Kristen knows that firsthand. Her mother died from primary peritoneal cancer, a disease closely related to ovarian cancer.
Her going through all her cancer stuff really kind of set me up for my battle that I didn't know that was coming at the time.
Her mother was a late-stage diagnosis, as many women with these forms of cancer are.
Unfortunately, what we know from the data is that these are not super effective tests at helping us diagnose ovarian cancers early. So even when these are diagnosing ovarian cancers, they're still advanced beyond stage 1 and 2.
Women get mammograms to screen for breast cancer and pap smears to screen for cervical cancer. Those screenings save countless lives. Regular mammograms reduce the chance of breast cancer death by 40%. But many women believe pap smears also look for ovarian cancers. they're wrong.
Ovarian cancer is one of the cancers that we do not have a good screening test for it.
Even though it is the deadliest gynecological cancer, the technology to routinely search for it just doesn't exist. But that may be about to change.
I definitely think this is a huge breakthrough.
Joanna Burdett is a professor of pharmaceutical sciences at the University of Illinois in Chicago. She co-authored a study detailing the discovery of a new biomarker for ovarian cancer that could pave the way to routine screening for the disease.
It makes sense when you're thinking about doing a pap smear and sampling and looking in this area annually anyway. Is there some technology that would be powerful enough to detect cancer in this source, in this sample?
The biomarker can identify the body's immune response to cancer, which could alert doctors to the cancer sooner. But the research is ongoing, and more human trials are needed to see if it's the answer women's health has been waiting for.
Certainly, the sooner we find it, the better chance you have at chemotherapy working.
Early detection can save lives. And in Kristen's case, self-detection and a little bit of luck likely saved hers.
I feel like God put that student in my life, and like that break that, I think it's truly incredible, and like I really don't know what I would have done if I didn't take her to go practice.
Kristen Baker has a gene mutation known as the BRCA gene, which makes her more susceptible to ovarian and breast cancer.
However, even with that risk factor, doctors say it was incredibly rare for her to develop the cancer under 30, and incredibly lucky she found the disease herself. Doctors say the most relevant tools for finding ovarian cancer are imaging tests such as an ultrasound and CT scans of the pelvis and abdomen, and tumor markers that can be found in blood such as cancer antigen 125.
Symptoms of ovarian cancer are often vague, and the Mayo Clinic says they can occur with several common conditions. Those symptoms include abdominal bloating, pelvic pain, urinary frequency or urgency, losing weight for no reason, and feeling full more quickly when eating.
Experiencing these symptoms doesn't mean you have ovarian cancer, but discussing them with your healthcare provider is a good idea.
Still to come, a unique addiction recovery program.
They haven't taken care of themselves, let alone something else.
Inspires men to take a hands-on approach to accepting life's imperfections.
I don't think anything else would have worked, anything at all.
And coming up next, chronic pain patients seek out an alternative to opioids for relief.
I don't like the way they make me feel, the effects of them.
We take a look at lidocaine infusions and give insight into its benefits.
The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention defines chronic pain as having pain on most days or every day in the past 3 months. And a 2019 study shows about 20% of U.S. adults have it.
Chronic pain differs from another type of pain called acute pain. Acute pain happens when you get hurt. It doesn't last long and goes away once your body heals. For a woman in Arizona, she says her chronic pain feels like the weight of the world is on her shoulders.
Normally, heat makes me feel better.
For Diana Hernandez, a simple change in the weather can trigger the agony of chronic pain.
I have both arms that I can do something right here, but I can't lift them. And it's very, the pain is unreal.
Diana suffers from osteoarthritis, or OA, a degenerative joint disease in which the tissues in the joint break down over time. It's the most common type of arthritis, and it is more common in people over 50.
Arthritis gets so severe that a lot of times there's not a lot you can do.
The Mayo Clinic echoes Diana, saying joint pain and stiffness can become severe enough to make daily tasks difficult. Doctors add sleep disturbances can result from the pain and disability of OA over time, making patients feel frustrated and even depressed.
Oftentimes, arthritic patients who cannot take pain medication, we try to search for solutions to help us.
For some chronic pain patients, doctors say lidocaine infusions may help manage their symptoms and can reduce or even eliminate the need for opioids such as codeine, tramadol, or morphine.
Reporter Russell Kinsall shows us how an infusion eased agonizing pain for one patient.
Hey, how's it going?
Good. How are you?
Good. How you feeling today?
Oh, I'm all right. I'm about 6 or 7 right now.
Okay.
In 2014, Jason Waller was diagnosed with complex regional pain syndrome in his left leg.
My nerves in my legs are going erratic, and in essence, they can't be stopped.
His nerves go haywire.
It's hard to explain, like, the pain level.
Making his leg swell and causing intense chronic pain.
The wind blowing the hair on your legs sets me off quite a bit. Oh, it absolutely limits your life, and in all aspects.
Waller's a patient at Barnes-Jewish Hospital's Pain Management Clinic, the only place in the St. Louis region treating pain with lidocaine infusions, an alternative to opioid painkillers.
I don't like opiates at all. I don't like the way they make me feel, the after effects of them.
You've probably bought lidocaine at the drugstore before. Here's some that comes in a cream. It also comes in a spray or a patch you put on your back. Mostly, it's been used to treat pain on the outside of the body, on the skin. But now doctors are using it inside the body with great results.
So it helps with that sensitivity.
Dr. Laura Kroc is Waller's physician. She's a Washington University anesthesiologist at Barnes-Jewish Hospital.
When you give it intravenously, it sort of targets the nerves that are firing the most, so the angriest nerves in your body.
The lidocaine infusions take 1 to 2 hours. Waller said they can cut his pain level from 9 to 4. For him, they're effective for 4 to 5 weeks.
My quality of life is, the best it can be at the current situation.
Dr. Kroc says lidocaine is most effective on nerve pain and is safe with few side effects.
So having tools that are non-opioid, that are safe, that can be effective for some patients is really game-changing.
I'm very active in my kids' lives, and I'm grateful for that. So, and it wouldn't have happened without these lidocaine infusions.
All right, good to see you.
Good to see you.
Doctors say occasionally patients do describe some peculiar feelings for hours following lidocaine infusions, including fatigue, dizziness, or a headache. Lidocaine infusions can last for weeks and often several months and be repeated with minimal side effects. In St. Louis, I'm Russell Kinsall.
Still to come, colorful works of art on the edge of the Louisiana Bayou.
It reads like a really wonderful poem or book.
We learn more about the artist inspired to create this story and the community writing its next chapters.
But first, men recovering from substance use disorder find the strength to stay sober through farm work.
I don't think anything else would have worked me, anything at all. Anything except for that one place.
We take you to a unique recovery program in Oregon, enriching the lives of humans and animals. According to the National Coalition for the Homeless, substance abuse is more prevalent in people who are homeless, and in many instances, people begin using as a way of coping with pressure.
In Oregon, a facility provides a temporary home for men struggling with addiction and recovery, and an escape from the temptations of the city. Reporter Bonnie Silkman shows us how Blanchet House takes a different approach to recovery.
Being in the wood shop is a form of therapy for Lucas Pattison. It's a testament to patience and embracing imperfections, something that's helped to shape his life one project at a time.
It got me to a point where I wanted to do better.
But Lucas lost touch with his craft for many years.
I had taken woodshop in high school and, drifted away through it over the years through partying. I was getting into a bunch of trouble and being incarcerated regularly for just alcohol-related stuff, drunk in public. So I got a couple DUIs and just got to the point where I was ordered to go to sober living. To be honest, I wasn't planning on getting sober. I was going there to make the court happy.
But Lucas didn't realize this time a court order would be sending him to a quiet farm tucked in the hills of Oregon's wine country. Here, Lucas would live and work with other men also recovering from addiction.
What are you doing, fellas? Here.
The unique hands-on approach at the Blanchet Farms recovery program is one that's tough to find. Those staying here are responsible for taking care of everything: the land, the gardens, and all the animals.
They ain't getting up. When you're that big, you can do pretty much what you want.
Ross Sears is a graduate of the recovery program, and now he's the proud manager.
My alcoholism interfered, busted up my marriage, jobs. It just destroyed everything, just like it does pretty much with everybody.
His plan was to stay for 30 days. That was 15 years ago.
When you got nothing to feel good about and you finally get to feel useful again or needed or wanted, that's a big deal. That just flips things around for guys, and then that's when it takes off. There you go. It's amazing what animals have done. I've seen that really just break down some of the hard stuff with guys. They haven't taken care of themselves, let alone something else.
At most, about 20 men can live here at a time. On average, they stay up to 9 months, but they're invited to stick around as long as they need. And it was during his stay here that Lucas rediscovered his old friend, the wood shop.
That place is a special part of my life, and it got me to where I am now.
Some of these guys, didn't know they had an artistic side. You get out of your head when you're in here. So it's kind of a release to come into wood shop.
Do you know of any other place like this?
I don't. These are very rare.
I have no idea why there isn't more programs like Blanchet Farm. I don't think anything else would have worked me. Anything at all. Anything except for that one place.
And because of that place, Lucas is now cherishing his own full circle story as the proud owner of his own successful woodworking business in Portland.
It's insane to feel where I am at today compared to 7 years ago. Every day I wake up, I come to the shop, and it's hard to believe sometimes.
Blanchet House is in the process of upgrading its facilities. A new 14,000 square foot building will house 25 men and provide offices and group spaces for people in the community attending Alcoholics Anonymous.
Up next, the art of creating, then disappearing.
He did say that in '99 that he was done and the garden was no longer his. And that's when he left.
The mystery and the message behind a unique sculpture garden in the Louisiana Bayou.
In a small coastal town in South Louisiana, dotted with bayous and alligators, you'll find a colorful lighthouse and over 100 life-size sculptures crafted by a mysterious, self-taught artist. The lighthouse is the centerpiece of a unique collection of outdoor art.
It's called the Chauvin Sculpture Garden, and many would call it a one-of-a-kind experience. The garden was created by an eccentric artist who left the area without any explanation.
Photojournalist Derek Waldrop shares the story behind the sculptures.
This is a visionary site that no one knows about in the world.
Every time I come in here, you see something that strikes you or takes you in a way that you've never seen it before.
It is just incredibly raw and from the heart.
This is one of the most important folk art sites in the country.
Legend of Kenny Hill had spread.
Well, when I met him, I knew that he was a bricklayer.
And it's obvious that Kenny did not have any art school training. He didn't get ruined by going to art school.
I remember growing up with memories of Kenny. When you were a kid, you just think that everybody has that guy down the road that's building art.
He had nothing. And for a year, he didn't have water, didn't have electricity, and he lived in this little house here and kept building. He did say that in '99 that he was done and the garden was no longer his. And that's when he left. So it's a religious site to some extent.
It reads like a really wonderful poem or book.
He said he made it for the community to learn from.
The lighthouse was a celebration of South Louisiana. You can see on the angel's wings, he had a wooden spoon and he put a little ball on it and swash it out, and that's how he made the feathers. The hair, it's like combed to get that texture with a serving fork.
It's the only folk art site I've ever been to where the artist did self-portraits of himself, showing you the way through the garden.
You can follow Kenny in his different roles all the way up to the last piece he did. It's such a full story.
This area was ground zero for Hurricane Ida.
Ida came in, the winds were just unbelievable.
When it was all said and done, coming out here, and I was just like, oh man, there was finally a hurricane that took this guy out.
The structure here, a lot of it was toppled over.
Some of the pieces got knocked onto the ground. Some of the pieces on the column fell off from the wind.
It got beaten up pretty darn badly, and it just sat here with no one knowing what to do with it, how to fix it, or whether to fix it.
And little by little, we're going to put the pieces back the way they were.
And I'm getting this as smooth as I can.
It's tedious, it's slow.
The concrete sets within 7 to 8 hours.
Things are fragile
Yeah.
and heavy.
Hey, hey, hey.
You got the Three Stooges here working on it. It's a labor of love.
If I don't do this, it will be gone. In 10 years, there won't be a sign of it.
By the time we're done here, people viewing it, they're going to see the absolutely crazy, marvelous sculpture that this place is.
A lot of people may say, well, I don't know, it's just a weird thing, but the weird things are the best things, I think.
This will live on after us.
The site was restored by the Kohler Foundation and is managed by Nicholls State University.
It is now a park and open to the public. I love that line with the nice things or the weird things, right?
Yeah.
Something like it's great.
And you know, that area is still recovering from Ida. I'm so glad that the art is being restored.
Yeah, they're doing great work down there. Yeah. That's it for us on Investigate TV Plus. I'm Lee Zurich.
And I'm Tisha Powell. Thanks for watching. Next time on Investigate TV Plus, a woman says she's unable to walk after abusing an easily accessible gas.
I had no clue how unsafe it was.
As she learns to walk again, she's now warning others about the dangers of nitrous oxide and its easy access in gas stations and smoke shops.